Hey, good Saturday morning, everyone. As promised, a quick video update for you this morning. A lot of us woke up this morning to a fresh inch or so worth of snow, and it continues to come down, especially as I record this at about 9:30 a.m., especially from Youngstown on south. It's still snowing at a pretty decent clip. We're getting a little break in the action up here in Trumbull and into Mercer counties, but of course, there's more off to the west. A little bit of a closer zoomed-in view of Mahoning County. Right now, again, most of this is just to the south of downtown Youngstown. I live in Boardman, and it's still snowing pretty decently out there along 224. Then it gets even a little heavier as you go south of the 224 corridor in Mahoning County this morning. National Weather Service in the middle of the night last night put out, they upgraded the wind chill watch to a wind chill warning. It goes into effect later today. Expires Sunday evening in most of the Ohio counties. In most of the counties that the Pittsburgh National Weather Service office covers, including Columbiana, Lawrence, and Mercer, it actually runs until Monday morning. We're not looking for much wind by Sunday evening, Sunday night, Monday morning, but the temperatures are going to be so low that even a 5-mile-an-hour breeze will send the wind chills back down to 20 or 25 below. So get used to, or don't get used, I should say, to these types of temperatures. This is about as warm as it'll be all day today. Temperatures are going to fall off a cliff this afternoon, and with that, the wind chills will also rapidly decrease before the day is through. All right, here's a broad view of what's going on. We're starting to see the first signs of our snow squalls developing from Buffalo right through the heart of Lake Erie back towards the Toledo area and into Fort Wayne, Indiana. This is the main line, and then there's a few more squalls back here. This is going to congeal and get more organized and come south and east over the next several hours. We're going to show you the computer models in just a second. But as this becomes more organized and heads south and east, this is nothing to mess around with. If you think it's slick out there now, wait until midday when visibilities could be drastically reduced and snowfall rates could be up to an inch an hour for a relatively brief time. Those sort of rates won't last an hour, but that's the rate in which the snow will come down in some spots as the snow squall comes through later on this morning and into early this afternoon. I'm going to plot up the surface obs here just to give you a sense as to how hard it may be snowing in some of these bands, looking at the visibilities. Down to a half a mile at the Youngstown Warren Airport at this hour. Out here towards Toledo, 1/4 of a mile with that snow squall. And over in Fort Wayne, Indiana, 1/4 of a mile visibility. Those are the kinds of conditions that we can expect here later on this morning and early on this afternoon as well. I switch off the weather, turn on the temperatures. We briefly take off the radar, just show you where the cold air is. It's lurking off to the northwest. Here comes the next batch invading from Canada. Look at these temperatures up in Canada this morning. And all of this is coming south and east. Now, we're not going to see these types of extremes like -35 or anything like that, but it just gives you a sense of the kind of air mass that's coming down, and it means business here across the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. All right, let's look at the latest high-resolution computer model, the HRRR high-resolution rapid refresh, and we're going to show you the snow squall, the evolution of it over the next several hours. I'm going to skip ahead here to 11 a.m., about an hour and a half after I record this, and according to the HRRR, our snow squall, the main band, should be kind of arcing like this, with maybe a little bit of a precursor out in front of it around Mansfield, heading over towards Canton. That's at 11 a.m. Here we go to noon, and we'll see that it's probably snowing hard from Erie to Ashtabula to Akron to Mansfield, heading back just maybe north of Columbus, around Delaware County, and perhaps even around the Mahoning Valley. The snow rates will probably be starting to pick up again by about noon. And as we go ahead an hour to 1 in the afternoon, mean-looking snow squall here. Kind of treat this like you would a summertime line of thunderstorms. And you know how the conditions can change really rapidly in that line of thunderstorms. Same idea here. We're looking at a lot of wind. We're looking at visibilities going from okay to not so okay very quickly. Here's that main band of snow right here at 1 p.m. So that's going to be the worst part of the day for travel conditions very late this morning and into the first couple of hours of this afternoon. So hunker down during that part of the day if you can. Wait it out, because by the end of the afternoon, here's 3 p.m., that main squall line is now down towards Pittsburgh, Du Bois, Wheeling, kind of the I-70 corridor just south. This is at 3 p.m. By this point, some light snow in most of the valley. So you can put off your errands until later today. It would behoove you, even though it's going to be very unpleasant outside later today with the wind and the falling temperatures, and more snow showers this evening. It's Valentine's night. A lot of people eating out tonight, heading to the movies, etc. And just be prepared for low visibilities with blowing snow. The temperature will be just dropping very rapidly by this evening. So very changeable conditions. Here's the current snow squall parameter on the Storm Prediction Center site. I'm going to refresh this actually, get a more recent view of things. And this is basically, it takes into account a lot of different meteorological parameters, but it shows where the best zone is for snow squalls at the moment, and it is right where they are on the radar. Northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, and up over Lake Erie, all of this coming south and east. The snow accumulations today, probably upwards of about 4 inches. We've already got a solid inch and a half out there in Boardman. And I wouldn't be surprised if someone get 5 before all is said and done, especially if you get under that squall and it stays around an extra 15 minutes, you could easily get 5 inches worth of snow. 4 inches, kind of a ballpark estimate for most of us today. Good luck measuring it because a lot of wind out there this afternoon. All right, real quickly, wind chills. Let's look at this evening because they're going to be falling quickly. I think the wind chills will probably be down to around -10 by this evening. By tomorrow morning, this is the period we've been talking about for days now. It's the worst of the wind chills. You know, I think -25 is going to be common. Oops. -25 going to be common throughout Northeast Ohio and into northwestern PA. There might even be a -30 in some of the coldest spots tomorrow morning. Now tomorrow, our forecasted high of 2 that we've been carrying looks like it might be too warm. It may not get above 0 tomorrow. And I posted on social media a little while ago. That's only happened 7 times since 1930 that we've had a high at or below 0, the high temperature. And we might have number 8 tomorrow. All right, if you're not following Andrew DiPaolo, be sure to do that. He's worked the morning shift today, and he's a real trooper. He's going to work this evening as well. Meantime, I've got my my coffee, or Mountain Dew, I should say, ready to roll, and I'll keep you updated with radar snapshots and everything over the next few hours. As we go towards evening, I'm going to take my wife out to dinner and get away from the weather for a while. So again, be sure to follow Andrew for the latest updates later on today.